years ago, October 7th, 2023, a day that scarred the soul of Israel. The morning began like any other, until it wasn't. Hamas fighters, armed and ruthless, stormed across the heavily fortified border from Gaza, tearing through communities, killing nearly 1,200 innocent Israelis and taking more than 250 hostages. It was one of the darkest days in Israel's history, a brutal act of terror that shook a nation to its core and tore open wounds that may never heal.
It's important to remember that that was the largest attack on Israel ever experienced effectively. And I believe it's shattered assumptions that Israel's security was unshakable.
For the families who lost loved ones and for those whose relatives are still in captivity, the pain is unimaginable. The sense of vulnerability, the trauma, the disbelief, all of it lingers even 2 years later. No one can or should diminish that suffering.
It's like an open wound. The hostages, I really can't believe it's been almost 2 years. It's been 2 years that they are not at home. All of the country, it's like all of our heart is not complete until they're home. In everything that we are doing, they're all the time in our mind, and I really hope that this agreement will actually happen and will bring everybody home to their families.
But what came next has been a tragedy of another kind. A catastrophe so immense that threatens to eclipse even the horror that started it.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה. לא במבצע, לא בסבבים, במלחמה. הבוקר חמאס פתח במתקפת פתע רצחנית נגד מדינת ישראל ונגד אזרחיה.
In the name of self-defense, Israel unleashed one of the most devastating military campaigns of the 21st century. Gaza, already suffocating under years of blockade, became an open-air graveyard. 66,000 Palestinians killed, 169,000 wounded, 90% of homes destroyed, almost 2 million people displaced, hungry, desperate. Hospitals bombed, refugee camps leveled, schools reduced to dust, aid convoys turned back at checkpoints while children starved behind the rubble. The numbers are staggering, but the human stories, the broken families, the mothers digging through ruins, the children sleeping on concrete under the sound of drones, those are what truly reveal the scale of this cruelty.
قاسية جدا كان السنتين هذولا كان يعني لا يوصف الشعور ما أقدرش أوصف لك يعني كانت قاسية قاهرة للغاية يعني الوضع صعب جدا كان جوع فقر ضرب خوف معاناة لا في مية ولا في أكل كانت معاناة قاسية جدا لا تتصور يعني لا تتصورها يعني حتى الآن مش قادر أستوعب إيش صار فينا هذا كأنه كابوس.
Israel's leaders promised two goals: to destroy Hamas and bring back the hostages. 2 years on, neither has been achieved. Hamas still operates. Dozens of hostages remain unaccounted for. And yet, an entire population, 2 million people, continues to be punished for the crimes of a few.
والله أغلب الناس إحنا كلنا قلقانين مع وقف إطلاق النار وهذه آخر مرحلة هذه مشكلة كبيرة إحنا نزحنا ثاني مرة ننزح من الشمال للجنوب ونزوح هذا بهدل الناس كلها وبهدلنا إحنا والله في الشوارع مرميين البرد قتلنا فهذا قلة وقف إطلاق النار هذه في المرحلة الأخيرة هذه مشكلة كبيرة.
The world watches, horrified. The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister, accusing them of war crimes. The United Nations, Amnesty International, and even Israeli human rights groups have gone further, calling Israel's campaign what it is: a genocide.
I find that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the threshold indicating the commission of the crime of genocide against Palestinians as a group in Gaza has been met. Specifically, Israel has committed 3 acts of genocide with the requisite intent: causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, and imposing measures intended to prevent birth within the group. The genocide in Gaza is the most extreme stage of a long-standing settler colonial process of erasure of the native Palestinians.
And still, the bombs fall. Still, Gaza bleeds. It is not anti-Israel to say this. it is not anti-Semitic to speak of justice. It is simply to stand on the side of humanity. Because there comes a point when the right to self-defense becomes indistinguishable from revenge, when protection turns into persecution. Israel's government says it is fighting terrorism. But what do you call a war that kills 80% civilians? What do you call a blockade that starves babies and cuts off water, medicine and fuel? What do you call a campaign that erases entire neighborhoods? The answer is not security. It is collective punishment. And collective punishment is never justified.
العالم كله مجمع على إنهاء الحرب ووقف القتال وقامت دولة فلسطينية إن شاء الله في النهاية. وأنا أرى في نهاية النفق ضوء خافت بس إن شاء الله حتكون جيدة للجميع.
Today, Gaza lies in ruins. Its hospitals gone, its schools silent, its skyline nothing but grey dust. Even as new peace plans are floated, like President Trump's so-called 20-point plan, the people of Gaza are too broken, too hungry, too traumatized to believe in words.
أنا والله أختي رنت علي من غزة تحكي لي كلمت يا منصور البنات اليوم بحكي لها الحمد لله كلمته تحكي لي إمتى كلمتيهم قلت لها آخر كلمة كانت لهم العصر هي حكت لي طب اسمعي يا أختي بدي أحكي لك خبر أول ما حكيت بدي أحكي لك خبر حكيت لها قصفوا بيت دار عمي تحكي لي أنا حكيت لها طب اطفي بدي أرن عليهم هي حكت لي حترن عليهم ولا جوال حيعطيك رد بعد نص ساعة هم حكوا لي بناتك الأربعة استشهدوا.
Yet, out of this darkness, something has shifted. The world's conscience has begun to stir. Over 20 more countries, including the UK, France, Spain, Australia, and Canada, have now recognized the State of Palestine. They are saying finally and firmly that Palestinians deserve the same dignity, the same freedom, the same future as anyone else. Israel may have achieved military dominance, but moral authority, that has been lost. The world is no longer blind. Because what began as a tragedy on October 7 has turned into a humanitarian nightmare. One that will define this generation's conscience. And until the bombs stop falling, until the blockade is lifted, until Palestinians are seen not as collateral but as people, peace will remain a word without meaning. The world must not look away. Not now, not after everything. With Farhan Khan, Bureau Report, India Today Global.